Hello students, let's proceed the chapter Dual Nature of Radiation and Matter. Already we have discussed the photoelectric effect, which is the phenomenon of emission of electrons by the certain substance or metal when it is exposed to radiations of suitable frequencies. Is called as photoelectric effect, and emitted electrons are called as photoelectrons. The definition is very important. Please by heart the definition. Now last time we were discussing observations from experiment on photoelectric effect. Over there the initial setup is to be done that the positive potential is to be applied to the collector plate and negative potential is to be applied to the emitter plate E. So as the electrons are emitted from the emitter plate, as they are the negatively charged particles, so that these negatively charged electrons are attracted towards the collector plate, and hence emitter plate is emitting the electron, collector plate is collecting the electrons there. Okay, now we had recorded the observation based on the variation in the photoelectric current. First of all, we had seen this variation with the effect of frequency. Okay, so in this effect of frequency on photoelectric current, over here first of all the suitable positive potential that we had given to the plate C is kept constant, and whatever the intensity we have chosen of incident radiation, that is also kept constant. As we are discussing the frequency, effect of frequency, so we are changing the value of the frequency that is to be mentioned on the x-axis, and for the same photoelectric current is to be observed, so it is to be recorded on the y-axis. Here we come to know that there is a particular or suitable frequency nu 0, which is said to be a threshold frequency below which there is no emission of photoelectrons takes place, and hence no photoelectric current is recorded. So to have the photoelectric effect, the incident frequency must be greater than or equal to this threshold frequency. So we can define the minimum frequency of incident radiation for which photoelectrons are just emitted from photosensitive material is called threshold frequency, and the corresponding wavelength to this threshold frequency is known as threshold wavelength. Okay, so this is all about the effect of frequency. As the emitter plate in the experiment is removable, as the emitter plate is to be changes, that means another material, another metal is to be used over there, and the same experiment has been performed, so it is found that the threshold frequency is different for different materials of the emitter plate E. After that we had seen the effect of intensity on the photoelectric current. Here now we come to know that to have the photoelectric effect, the minimum frequency must be the threshold frequency. That means the incident radiation should have the frequency equal to or greater than the threshold frequency. Then only we can observe this effect. So in this effect of intensity, here we are keeping the positive potential that is to be applied to the collector plate C constant, and the frequency of incident radiation greater than threshold frequency we are keeping constant. Gradually we are increasing the intensity of incident radiation from its minimum value, and it is to be observed that when there is no intensity, photoelectric current is 0. Obviously when no light is to be incident on the material, electrons are not emitted. Okay, and after that it is observed that as the intensity is increases, linearly, the photoelectric current is also increases linearly. Okay, here we had seen that the photoelectric current, we can say that the photoelectric current is directly proportional to the number of photoelectrons emitted per second. In general, the number of photoelectrons emitted per second is directly proportional to intensity of incident light. That means over here, whatever will be the intensity of incident radiation, we can observe the photoelectric effect if and only if the incident frequency should be greater than threshold frequency of the material used. Then next, effect of potential difference on the photoelectric current we have discussed there. And for the same, when the collector plate is maintained at the positive potential. Okay, so over here we are keeping threshold frequency and incident radiation, the intensity of the incident radiation, both we are keeping constant here. Okay, and the positive potential that we had applied to the plate C, we are gradually increases. So as discussed earlier, that all the electrons are attracted towards the collector plate C, and over here the resulting photoelectric current is to be measured each time, and it is to be observed that as we are increasing the positive potential, the photoelectric current is also increases till a particular potential. After that, over there, when we are at some stage, when the certain positive potential of the plate C occur, all the emitted electrons are attracted towards the collector plate, and hence there will be no more increase in the photoelectric current. That means we have got the maximum value of the photoelectric current. That maximum value of photoelectric current is said to be a saturation current. Okay, and hence over here it is to be observed by means of the graph. Also we can explain this, we can show this, that as we are increasing the positive potential, the photoelectric current is also increases, and after that we are getting the saturation current. One more observation is to be takes place, that for the same arrangement, if over here we are increasing the intensity of incident radiation, so that the photoelectric current is also increases. Obviously the effect of intensity we had seen, the photoelectric current and intensity of incident radiation is directly proportional to each other. Okay, so we had discussed all these things in the last lecture. Okay, so now let us proceed further. Here, for the positive potential of the plate C, we had seen this characteristic of the photoelectric current over there when we are changing the potential, positive potential on the collector plate C. Let us use the commutator key again, and hence here we are maintaining the plate C at negative potential with respect to the emitter plate E there. Okay, so here there is a time to use the commutator key, and hence we are using the commutator key. It will be now connected, or we can say it is now reversed. Okay, so when the commutator key is reversed there, so here normally what we are doing, the negative, or we can say that the retarding potential is applied to the collector plate C with respect to the emitter plate E. Let us see the circuit diagram again for this setup. Here you can see that this positive potential is now applied to the emitter plate. Okay, and by means of the commutator key, the negative potential is to be applied to the collector plate. So over here we are maintaining the collector plate at negative potential with respect to the emitter plate. So in this arrangement over here, The negative potential of plate C is gradually increased till the photoelectric current reduces to zero. The observation which is to be takes place, we are referring the same diagram 14.4, the same figure we are taking here. As you can see, I told you one of the part we have discussed when the collector plate is maintained at the positive potential. Okay, now let us discuss the part when the collector plate is to be maintained at the negative potential. So over here, what is to be done if increasingly negative potential were applied to the collector? Okay, that means here we are applying the negative potential on the collector plate C continuously, okay, and it is to be increases there. So what happens as the collector plate is maintained at the negative potential? Look at here, the collector plate is maintained at the negative potential. Electrons are also the negatively charged particles. So these electrons will start repel from here. And as we are increasing this negative potential, so that the electrons are repelled more from the collector plate. Okay, that means over here, as the photoelectrons does not reaching the collector plate, and hence the photoelectric current will be reduces there. Okay, so here you can see in this diagram that as the negative potential increases, okay, photoelectric current is also decreases there. The reason behind that I explained over here. Okay, so the photoelectric current decreased, and for certain value, the value is to be written as minus V naught. Okay, this is a particular value of the retarding potential at which the photoelectric current become zero, and this potential V naught was termed as cutoff or stopping potential. Over here, when the negative potential of the plate C is gradually increased till the photoelectric current reduces to zero, so we are obtaining one more term that is said to be a cutoff or stopping potential. So we can define the minimum negative potential V naught given to the plate C, for which the photoelectric current stops or becomes zero, is called cut off or stopping potential. And it indicated that when the potential was retarding, the photoelectrons still had enough energy to overcome the retarding or opposing electric field and reach the collector plate. Okay, and because of that, the value of the stopping potential will be, it was same for any incident intensity as long as the incident frequency was same, but it was different for the different emitter materials. Okay, here in the same graph you can observe that as when the positive potential is to be applied to the collector plate with increase in intensity, photoelectric current is also increases. Now when the commutator key is reversed, and when the negative potential is to be applied to the collector plate, and we are increasing the negative potential, that is also called as the retarding potential, photoelectric current is decreases there. Okay, so over here we can say that all the electrons which are reaching to the collector plate when the collector plate was kept at the positive potential, all those electrons still had the enough energy to overcome this retarding potential. Okay, and those electrons are trying to reach the collector plate there, but here we are making the value of the retarding potential so much high so that those electrons cannot reach there, and because of that the photoelectric current will be reduces there. So over here it is observed that when this experiment is to be performed for the negative potential on the collector plate C, with the increase in the intensity, so it was found that for a particular emitter plate E, the value of the stopping potential at which the photoelectric current becomes zero will be same. The value of a stopping potential for any incident intensity will be same, okay, as long as we are keeping the frequency constant here. Okay, but as we are changing the emitter plate, so this value of the stopping potential at which the photoelectric current becomes zero will be different. Now the next observation is to be takes place that all the photoelectrons that are emitted from the metal surface do not have the same energy. That means the photoelectrons which are emitting from the emitter plate, those photoelectrons do not possess same kinetic energy. The kinetic energy of each emitted photoelectrons are different, and the maximum kinetic energy of the photoelectrons, it depends on the applied potential there. Here it is to be found from the experiment that the photoelectric current becomes zero when the stopping potential is sufficient to repel the most energetic photoelectrons with the maximum kinetic energy. And hence from this observation the equation is to be given, which is, as you can see, the maximum kinetic energy is equal to EV naught, where V max is the maximum of the velocity of the photoelectrons, m is the mass of the electron, and E is the magnitude of charge on the electron. Over here, as I told you, when the negative potential is to be applied to the collector plate, so that the photoelectrons are repelled from the collector plate. Okay, as the negative potential is increases, so those photoelectrons repelled more from the collector plate. Okay, but those photoelectrons have sufficient energy to overcome that potential, negative potential, retarding potential, to reach the collector plate. But here what is to be done? A maximum possible negative potential is to be applied so that all the photoelectrons will be there. It is emitted from the emitter plate, okay, with the sufficient kinetic energy, but they are not reaching to the collector plate. As I told you, each photoelectron is emitted with different kinetic energy. So here we have to take the maximum value of the kinetic energy of the emitted photoelectrons. So all photoelectrons are to be applied by a certain potential, by using which those electrons cannot be reaching to the collector plate, and hence the photoelectric current become zero. That's why we can say that the potential V naught, which is said to be the stopping potential, and the photoelectric current becomes zero. So this stopping potential is to be applied to each electron having the magnitude of charge E, and hence this much amount E naught 0 is to be actually applied to those photoelectrons having the maximum kinetic energy. So here we have got that the photoelectric current becomes zero when the stopping potential is sufficient to repel the most energetic photoelectrons with the maximum kinetic energy. You have to remember this formula, that is maximum kinetic energy is equal to E into stopping potential. So the maximum kinetic energy of the electrons depended on the potential V for a given metal used for the emitter plate E and for a given frequency of the incident radiation. Now, if the material is changed or the frequency of incident radiation is changed, the kinetic energy is also going to be changed. Let us see the next observation based on this. If the frequency of the incident radiation was changed by keeping the intensity and accelerating potential V constant, then saturation current remained same, but the potential, that is the stopping potential V naught, will be changed there. Okay, this can be clearly understood by this graph, which is to be given based on the observation. As over here the negative potential is to be given to the plate C. Okay, the retarding potential is to be given, and for this initially we had kept frequency of the incident radiation, that must be greater than threshold frequency, constant. Intensity of the incident radiation we had kept constant. Okay, when we observe the nature for the positive potential, over there we have got for the positive potential of plate C, saturation current is to be obtained. Okay, and when we are increasing the intensity of the incident radiation, the saturation current and hence the photoelectric current is also increases proportionality. Fine. But when the negative retarding potential is to be given to the plate C, the value of the stopping potential for all value of the intensity would become same. Fine. But here in this case, as the frequency we are taking, okay, here we are going to change the value of the frequency there. Fine. And for a given whatever the saturation current is there, okay, intensity as we are keeping constant, so only one value of the saturation current is to be obtained there. Fine. And for the first value of the frequency nu 1, as the negative potential increases, photoelectric current is decreases there. Okay, and here we are getting the value of the stopping potential for the frequency nu 1, it is to be obtaining as V01. Then next we are changing the value of the frequency nu 2, that must be greater than nu 1, and hence when this value of the frequency is going to be changed, the photoelectric current is decreases as the negative potential is increases, and the photoelectric current becomes 0 at another applied potential for the next frequency nu 2. Then next, when again the frequency is increased more, nu 3, and when it will be changes, so the photoelectric current is also going to be decreases when the negative potential is to be increases there. That means over here we are obtaining that as the frequency is increases, the stopping potential becomes more negative. Okay, here we are changing the negative potential and the applied frequency. That frequency must be greater than threshold frequency. So for each frequency or for different frequencies, we are getting different values of the we are getting the different values of the stopping potential. And just recall once, when the negative potential is to be applied over here on the collector plate C, and the intensity is to be increases. See, as we are increasing intensity 1, 2 and 3, the photoelectric current is going to be decreases there, but the value of the stopping potential is same for all values of the increasing intensity. That means here we can say that the intensity, the applied intensity, whatever the intensity we are using, if we are changing the intensity of the incident radiation, the value of the stopping potential will remain same. The value of stopping potential does not depends on intensity of incident radiation, but if we are changing the value of the frequency, so the value of the stopping potential is going to be changed. As we are increasing the frequency, the stopping potential become more negative. That means here we can say that the incident frequency, the value of the incident frequency obviously must be greater than the threshold frequency. If we are increasing the frequency, the stopping potential is also becomes more negative, or in another words we can say that when we are changing the material or frequency of incident radiation, the stopping potential is going to be changed, as stopping potential is related with the kinetic energy, as we had seen in this equation, that the maximum kinetic energy is equal to EV0. If this stopping potential will be changed, the kinetic energy of the emitted photoelectrons is also going to be changed there. So over here we can say that the stopping potential becomes more negative when the frequency of the radiation increased. And we can conclude that the maximum kinetic energy of electrons depends on frequency of the incident radiation. Okay, the maximum kinetic energy of the electron did not depends on the intensity of the incident radiation there, and hence we can say even for a very small incident intensity, if the frequency of incident radiation was larger than the threshold frequency nu0, maximum kinetic energy from a given surface will always the same for a given incident frequency. As just we come to know that the maximum kinetic energy depends on frequency, it is not depends on intensity of the incident radiation. Okay, now the next observation is to be made that for our different metals, as we are going to change the materials, okay, and following the same experiment by considering different materials over there, so the slopes of such straight lines were the same, but the intercepts on the frequency and stopping potential axis were different. We can see by using this graph which is given there. Okay, for example, the two metals are to be taken, metal A and metal B. Fine. Here the graph is to be given the frequency which is to be taken on the x-axis, the value of the different value of the incident frequency, and on the y-axis over here the value of the stopping potential given. So as for the metal A, you can see first of all there is a value nu0, that means below this value there is no emission of the photoelectrons takes place. Then next, above that, as the frequency increases, the stopping potential is also increases, and the intercept that we are getting on the frequency and stopping potential, it is to be there at phi 0. This value phi 0 we will discuss later in the chapter. This is for the metal A. When the material is to be changed, metal B is to be taken. Here on the x-axis the value nu 0 dash is given, which is the threshold frequency of the another material. As I told you, the value of the threshold frequency for different materials will be different. Okay, and here below this nu 0 dash there is no photoelectrons are emitted. After that, as the frequency increases, the stopping potential is also increased there, but the intercept is to be occurring at the different position. Okay, so over here we can say that the nature of the graph for the metal A and for the metal B is same. Okay, that means for the different metals the slope of such straight lines were same, but the intercept of the frequencies and stopping potential axis will be different there. Okay, we can conclude that the photocurrent and hence the number of the electrons emitted depends on the intensity but not on the frequency of the incident radiation, as long as the incident frequency must be greater than threshold frequency and potential of anode should be higher than that of the cathode. Okay, so over here we come to know that when we observe the photoelectric effect and hence we study the variation in the photoelectric current, which is nothing but the number of the photoelectrons emitted per second. So this photoelectric current depends on intensity. Okay, and it will be depends on frequency if and only if the incident frequency is greater than threshold frequency. Okay, if the incident frequency is not greater than threshold frequency, then the photoelectric current will not depends on the frequency of incident radiation. With this, the photocurrent depends on the potential of the anode. Okay, that must be higher than that of the cathode. That's why if and only if the potential of anode is higher than the cathode, the current is flowing in a circuit and we can observe the photoelectric current there. Now the last observation has been made over here that there is no time lag between the incident of light and emission of the electrons there. The photocurrent is started, actually what happens, the photocurrent is start instantaneously. The time that would be taken as 10⁻⁹ second when the light is to be incident on the material. If the intensity of the incident radiation is very low, okay, and as soon as the incident radiation was stopped, the flow of current is also stopped. Okay, we had already discussed in the experimental setup. So here we can say that as soon as the light is to be incident on the material, photoelectric current we can observe, and hence we can conclude that instantaneously the photoelectrons are emitted, and that's why we can say the emission of photoelectron is an instantaneous process. So this is all about observations from experiments on photoelectric effect. I will proceed the chapter that we will see next time in the next lecture. Thank you.